ended the class late today.
Huh?
We ended the class late today. We were supposed to end at 1:10, but then.
No problem, no problem. So I am just over here, Yasha, showing the difference between wet on wet of two techniques, and on this side of the page I will be showing how to do wash work. Okay? So that all those who have missed or have any confusion can go ahead with it. And I'm also doing a recording so that you guys can later on also look at it and watch it, and then just it will help you. Okay, so even before it has dried, I have again darkened the Prussian blue area. Right. Now let this dry. In the meantime, I will show you the second technique of wet on wet. In this, I will just take enough water in my brush, and I will take a really good amount of color in my brush. Okay, I am using Indian light red and yellow ochre right now. So I'm basically mixing two. And so on this part of the paper I had not applied any water, right? So I'm just applying color randomly, and with clean brush. So you take clean brush, you take clean water, and with the tip of the brush you start spreading the edge of color. And then the thing that you have to notice here is wherever you make your brush movement in whichever direction, your color flows in that direction.
Like the way you did it at the bottom of the boat the other day.
Exactly, correct. So if I have to make another color, if I have to add another color, I'll again just apply color first. Again with clean, so that's the reason I told you all to have 2 bowls of water, so that one water will be totally clean. So the whichever direction I move my brush and water, color spreads in that direction.
What are you making now?
Not sure exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm basically right now just trying to get first year, second year understand the difference between wet on wet and. So this is how you can also blend your sky with land without adding any color, but showing that both the colors are meeting at a particular point. But every time clean brush and clean water.
So the second technique of wet on wet is water with color simultaneously.
Correct, water and color simultaneously. This is generally done in the second layer of wet on wet, or sometimes when you want directly just, so mainly this technique is used also for monochrome, the monocolor that we do, because in that most of the time we don't want to because we will not be using more than one color, so we don't want that one color to spread 10 times, and we can't wait so much for it to dry, right? So this second technique is often used for monocolor or just for duo colors, but the basic wet on wet can be used for any kind. Okay,
Yeah.
got it? Now let me move to the wash work. Now in wash work, make sure you have, now one difference I'll tell you between wet on wet and wash work. Now in wet on wet, I had applied water vertically, right? But in wash work, I will apply color the way I want my first layer of the background to appear. Because many times in wash work, your wash work is like when it dries, that is your ultimate background. Okay. So what we do is we apply water in the direction we want our color to flow. Like in this, I made the color flow. I started coloring from this to slant direction. Then from here I came here. Then from here I went like this. But in this, I will apply water in those kind of directions. Okay.
But ma'am, why can't we just do that with coloring? Why do we have to apply the water in that type of
Because in
direction?
washwork, your background has to be really, really light. That's why it's called a wash. That's why it's called a wash. So the amount of color that I'm going to take now at this point of time in my brush is going to be very little compared to what I had taken at the time of wet on wet. Now in wet on wet, if you guys can see, this has really become light. But the amount of color we had taken was dark, was very much dark when we started applying it. So now when I'm going to take color for this, it will appear to be light like this, and when it dries, it will almost become like this area. Okay, so I'm going to have too much water in my brush, very little color. So let me show it to you all how much color I'm taking this time. So I'm just going to take color in the tip of my brush. Okay, and if there is any excess color, I'm going to remove that. Just going to take a tip. So do you see the amount of color that has been taken? So imagine when it dries, it will be almost invisible. Now if your paper dries, immediately add water. Because in washwork we can't afford our paper to dry. Now and in this, no matter how I want my brush to move, my color will flow in the way water has been added. In while applying water. So I'm just applying water wherever my paper has dried. Right? Can you make out the difference between wet on wet, like what I did in wet on wet and what I'm doing here? Okay, now I'm just taking a little bit of vermilion, huh? I'm just taking random colors, okay? You know, all those work that you'll see in water paint, in which all black paintings are done, like all the paintings are done with black. The background of that is often washwork. In Pinterest, you will often see a video of there wherein they use hair dryer to make the washwork dry sooner, so that they can make a second layer of washwork on top of it. Now let me tell you one very basic difference. In this, once it dries, no matter whatever I draw on this and I color, I will still be able to see the background color beneath. Okay, and I will also be not able to get rid of this color not getting mixed with the color that I want to do it on the top, unless you're doing a very dry watercolor with a dry brush. But in this, once this dries, you can color anything on top of it, but it has to dry completely. So you can draw anything on top of this, you can color anything on top of this, because background is so light that it will not get blended with the colors being used on top again, or it will not overpower that, unless you have used black. But if black also you have used it very lightly, nothing is going to happen. Even black will not overpower. Understood? Can I get a yes or a no?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is
Yes,
how
that's
it
right.
appears. Now this is more or less dry, this is still wet. So if I have to start working on it, So I start taking now less water in my brush and more color, and I just start working. See, by default, anything if I have to draw in my mind, you know, tree comes, it's like a default thing for me. Now in this, as I said, see, I can still see a little bit of background color behind. Now sometimes, like Yashas recently did one painting of mine in which there was a moon area, and while doing that I told him to leave that much area while he is applying the background, while he is applying water in background. Okay, because that is something we want totally white. So when we want that to be completely white, we obviously don't want any color over there. Okay, now once this dries, you can again do a second layer on it, in which there will again be no water in your brush. So basically wiping off all complete water from your brush. Whatever water is there in color, you just take that, get rid of completely excess water. Still water. And you can start painting over it again. So let's say if I want to, this is still wet, this needs to dry to give you the, yeah, so if it will be dry, it will appear dark. Also it will be, brush will not be moving so smooth how it was moving here, because there is no water in brush. You will see small like crack and uneven lines getting formed over here. I have no idea what I am painting, okay? I am just making something random. Okay? Now once this has dried, okay, wait, let me just make a trunk kind of a thing here. It should not look something hanging on air, no? And then you can make whatever you want below this. Okay, now once this has dried, you again take less water, but not no water, you take less water. Now since my background is so light here, if you see wherever I am coloring, blue is not being shown so much. Whereas in this, the blue and even light red was visible. Because in that, the layer of the color was dark compared to what I had taken in my wash.
Can I start coloring?
If you think your drawing is looking similar, then yes, you can, beta. Otherwise, just give me 2 minutes. Yeah, in the meantime, you check.
Yeah.
And this, if you see, your background is just not affecting the drawing or the object that you are making on top of this. Right? Understandable?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is that hard?
I don't know, beta. I was just trying to make something. So I mean, I just wanted to show that how the colors don't affect. Like your background colors just don't affect. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
So you see the difference between the two background when it dries, right? Now on this, I'll just show the last thing. Now on this, if you want to make this dark, okay, you take less water, more color. In less water when I say, then it is just enough water for your brush to move smoothly. And on this you apply the second technique of your wet on wet. And when you are doing this, your paper is still safe. But when it comes to this, when I want to make this one dark, I cannot afford to use too much of water, because even if you are using a 300 GSM or a 375 GSM, your paper will start giving away, because in the very first layer, too much of water and too much of color has been added. Okay?
Ma'am, so in both the cases, if we do a second layer,
Hmm.
then and we use water, would the previous layer would it like smudge
No.
or
No, see in this, if you see, my background is, my first layer is not affected at all. Isn't it?
right?
My first layer is just there as it is, as it was. But in this, there is a chance it may. Because for this, you will have to use again a lot of water, and the quantity of your color will also be more. Because then only you can make this darker. But in this, you don't need so much of water. You just need water to blend the edges and just to get your little shading effect or the gradual fading effect of the color. I think that looks like a mountain. I don't know what I made. Okay. See, if in this, if I try, okay, first of all, if I use, oh dear Lord, if I use hardly water and if I just use color, it becomes like a very dark patch. Okay, I'll show it with the brush that you guys use. It will be better, because then it will be easy for you all to understand. See.
I have a question.
Yes, darling, go ahead.
Do you give the marks for the thingy?
For which?
For the theory exam rewrote?
Theory exam, I don't check, na? The theory paper goes to university. Okay?
Yeah, but we
How
get our
about
marks.
practical?
Practical also, I just check first round, second round is checked by them. Okay, now what I want you to see over here is notice this part and notice in this. This part is already becoming a little bit like, you know, wo, jaise wo, like on cotton cloths, it happens na, like that ruwa type coming out. Okay, so that has already started happening over here. Whereas in this one, we don't see that effect. It will be more clear in the video. I'll just try and zoom it.
You watch MasterChef Australia?
No, not yet. So see, hold on, Mishra. So see this part basically.
That's so random.
This part basically. Okay, so this part, if I add any more water over here or any more color, paper over here will give up. Okay, but when it comes to this one, that doesn't happen. When I come to over here in this page, that doesn't happen. So in washwork, you still have the option to go layer after layer, but in wet on wet, you can go max to max 2 layer. Unless you are using a 500 GSM paper, then you can go up to 4 or 5 layers. Clear? Understood till here?